Ripple announces a new partnership with Mastercard. I've got the deets, and we're also going to talk a little price. ETH below where they were since the beginning of the year. Is this a pump and dump play, or is ETH a bargain right now? We've got earnings to talk about because exchanges are making money. Volume is exploding, and I can't do the rest of this intro because my dog keeps bugging me. Vader. Oh, and check out his collar. Isn't that nice? Let's get into the crypto news.
I say lots of naughty things, so here's your warning.
Keeping up with the later night videos. Yeah, baby, I'm liking that action. Or am I early for some of you viewers? Comment down below, when do you watch the videos? Morning or at night? Now, before we get into the news, you notice a little bit of rebound on the screen. That's right. We're coming up from our lows. We're expecting the government shutdown to end in about the next 2 weeks, if all goes well, because we're starting to hear rumors from senators out there that the two sides are getting along. Now, we're going to get into that news, but first, you are the viewer, and your comments matter most. Shane dropping support on the channel. Thank you very much, Shane. Says, thanks for keeping us updated. Here we go. It's about to take off. Oh, I gotta wait for the government, my man. Maybe I know Klausmas is right around the corner. Gotta get these gifts while it's cheap. I've been doing my best to be good, but it's hard sometimes. Lol, that's the naughty. It's the same way. I gotta be honest with you. The only thing that's stopping me from buying a whole bunch is if the government all of a sudden is like, yo, we're getting close. And then they like, oh, we don't have enough votes to make it. Yo, that'll just tank shit. So there's that part of me out there that's kind of like, oh, dang, I know I want to buy, but man, there might be a good opportunity around the corner. And remember, with crypto, there's always opportunities, right? There was Black Sunday. There was the Elon and Trump's bet. Like, you see what I mean? There's always options. Jeremy Touche's hanging out. Says, what's up? Jeremy says, yep, I would be the first to support you, my friend. What is Jeremy talking about? T-shirt maybe? Yeah, just throwing it out there. In the description down below, I'm going to have the posting of this page. Just check it out. It's just an idea. I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm playing just the tip. Heat map, look, it's in the green. Volume, 207 billion. What else do you need to know? Altcoin season, don't even get me started. It's BTC dominant season. It sucks. Why? Well, because it's not altcoin season. We're all alt fans. And the BTC dominance right now is at 59.8%. I don't think you're going to see a big shift in the BTC ETH, like altcoin dominance charts, until the regs start happening. I even have a feeling that the ETFs might not be the juiciest unless you have regs to back them up. Because think about it. What would be the point then of having an ETF if we don't have regs for the base item? Like, yeah, some people would get into it, but then there'd still be a bunch of people out there going, well, wait a minute. I have an ETF on a product that's not even legal? You see what I'm saying? That's why the shutdown has to frickin' end. Robinhood earnings top forecast is crypto revenue jumps 300%. So, what have I been telling everyone this whole time? Who makes the money during all of a sudden panic sells and buys? It's the exchanges. In the third quarter, Robinhood reported earnings per share of 61 cents, more than the expected 53 cents. So it's about expectations versus reality. According to Bloomberg data, the total net revenue tallied 1.27 billion, a 100% increase from a year ago. Holy shit. A jump in transaction-based revenues, see, I keep telling y'all about transaction-based revenues, was fueled by cryptocurrency revenue, which rose over 300%. Equities revenue increased 132%, so there was even a lot of volatility in the stock market. So what they said, our team's relentless product velocity drove record business results in quarter three, and we're not slowing down. Prediction markets are growing rapidly, Robinhood Banking is starting to roll out, and Robinhood Ventures is coming. So exchanges are making money. Now, the profitability, though, for Robinhood wasn't there. And just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean you're good at what you do with the money. Like imagine someone that makes $1 million a year, but they've got a really bad, sports gambling addiction. And maybe they always bet on the White Sox, so they lose all the time. Yeah, then it doesn't matter if you make $1 million a year if you're losing 1.1 mil in gambling. Ethereum erases their 2025 gains as the price falls below 3,300. Yeah, think about that. ETH, we've talked about this plenty of times, where it's once it breaks that 4,000 mark, man, for some reason it just dumps it, never holds. Check this out. Zoom out to the all-time chart. Look at this. This has happened right here, and right here, right here, right here, right here, right. Yeah, you notice that? The overall trend is up, but it's definitely pumps and dumps along the way. So Ethereum has erased their gains from 2025. That sucks, right? Because if you're hodling long for ETH, you're like, well, fuck, what did I just waste my 10 months plus for? Yeah, that's why they play the pumps and dumps. And the thing that really scares me about ETH is every time it gets to these like juicy levels of prices, you see a lot of institutional players taking profits, man. You see that happen a lot with ETH. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Perspective, right? Like year to date, we're getting near the end of the year. I know it's scary. Time just flies as you get older. But we're getting to the end of the year, and it's kind of people are looking at, okay, so what were my gains, right, for the investment for this year? I'm just throwing it out there. U.S. Senate may prioritize funding bill over crypto market structure amid shutdown. Who's the fucktard that wrote this? Of course, the funding bill is going to be a bigger priority over crypto structure amid the shutdown. What? Come on now. Discussion persists amid the shutdown as Senate Ag Committee members are engaging with White House officials on the bill's draft. Now, this is separate than the Clarity Act. This is the Senate's version. The U.S. Senate crypto market structure bill remains under active discussion despite the protracted government shutdown, which has entered its 36th day. Damn, girlfriend. It was initially passed in the House of July. The bill seeks blah, 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 blah. Look, we can't go anywhere until the shutdown ends. So, even though Senator Loomis emphasized the bipartisan nature of the discussions and said, we're making tremendous progress, but highlighted challenges from reduced agency involvement, and let's be honest, when the government is shut down, they're going to prioritize funding over crypto. I know, crazy, isn't it? No, it's not crazy. What's crazy is that these tard cards waited to the last minute to start discussions. Ripple partners with Mastercard to bring Rlusd credit card settlements to the XRP ledger. And what have we learned? You don't get rich on transaction on the burn rate. It just, the math isn't there, okay? The announcement was made during Ripple's swell in 2025. The only thing that's swelling is Ripple's pocketbooks. God. In New York and shared by the company on X, highlighting plans to use Rlusd on XRPL. The initiative will enable Rlusd to facilitate settlement processes. Telling you, Rlusd for settlement. They've been doing it to facilitate settlement processes between Mastercard and WebBank, the issuer of Gemini's credit card, according to Ripple. This marks one of the first collaborations in which a regulated U.S. bank will settle traditional card transactions using a regulated stablecoin. Why is this cool? Because this is what happens when you get regs. See, the stablecoin market got regs, and now these people feel comfortable doing all these programs where things are protected with regulations. We don't have that with the alts yet. So the problem we got is what, everyone? That a lot of usage for XRP and our other favorite alts out there are going to be stalled until we get the regaronis. What's the other problem? Here's yet another program where Ripple is like, how about Rlusd, not XRP? And we're like, oh. But Rlusd makes them a shit ton of money. Ripple stated that the effort builds on its earlier work with Gemini and WebBank, which launched the XRP edition of the Gemini card in August. Again, you got XRP rewards. Like that's not going to help with price. It's cool for rewards. Price-wise, kind of sucks. Balls. According to Ripple's press release, Sherry Heyman, global head of digital commercialization at Mastercard, holy fuck, nice title, said the partnership uses Mastercard's global network to bring regulated open-loop stablecoin payments in the financial mainstream. And since we're not regulated because the government shutdown is going on, the usage for our favorites is going to be a little bit less. XRP's volume's still hot AF, which means companies like Robinhood are making a lot of revenue. But if they spend their money like drunken sailors, well, then it doesn't matter because then you might be losing money. So just remember that. You could be making a lot of money, but if your expenses are really high and your debts are really high, it might be wiping out all the money that you make. So no profitos. So XRP at 6.9 billion volume. Nice, like it. We are rebounding a little bit here. I mean, like, I don't know. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan, but, like, I'm seeing, like, a lot of expectation here on the fact that the shutdown is going to end here soon. But if that doesn't happen and we then buck that trend of expectation, we're going to be touching $2. That you get me interested in because I'm not going to be chasing extra because there's always opportunities out there, right? Look at this. We've seen it plenty of times where there's things that just poop on us and the price goes poop. So do I want a FOMO? No, I'm going to stick to my targets. Get rid of the emotion and be like, you know what? There's a discount over here. There's a discount over here. Yeah, $2.34 is good. It's nowhere near the $3. Yeah, if you're long-term on that, but I want to snipe, man. I want to snipe because I want my averages as low as possible so I can capitalize as much as I can on my longs. And on my shorts, oh, well, we go where the momentum is. We go where the juice is. And that means being open to all sorts of ideas. Yeah, when silver was cheap, I was buying a lot, but I'm not going to chase it. Gold's so expensive right now. Try to find gold for a good deal. Not going to happen. So I kind of move on to other things. And that's why I keep asking everyone, what do you think right now is on super sale comparative to what you'd want to get out of it? And that's where it all comes, right? Formulating what your expectations are. And right now my expectations are, because do I have faith in the government here in the short term getting out of this shutdown? Look, it sucks, okay? I live in los Estados Unidos. Everyone knows that. Look, I even got my White Sox hoodie on because I'm cool. Yeah, I'm a fan all year long. And it sucks because the United States is having such an impact on the global, not flat earth, crypto market. And what's crap about that is I get that the United States has a lot of money. I get that, like, there's so much institutional money, so much retail money. But, like, our economy's having some problems here, too. And, like, people's money is starting to get jacked. And now we're getting around, like, the Christmas holiday season where, you know, retail starts winning more money on, like, their kids and gifts for themselves and their girlfriends and side actions and wives and mistresses and all that kind of shit. So I'm just like, oh, do I have faith in the government? And that's where I'm stuck right now. I'm not stuck with what XRP is. I'm not stuck on the regs. I'm not stuck on anything. And I don't think anything is, like, super crazy bad. I'm just sitting here going, the government's let us down plenty of times before. Do I want to bet on the fact that they're not going to let us down again? And I'm like, oh, shit, Klaus, don't do that. Because it's like, if I were to bet against the White Sox all the time, I would be good. But if I was to bet for the White Sox to win all the time, I would lose a ton of money. So again, expectation and reality. The reality with the government is they've really screwed up things a lot. Expectation, it's starting to grow, but what if they screw things up again? So that's why I'm just being cautiously optimistic. It's not that it's shaking my faith in any specific crypto. No, it's just shaking my faith in the fact that the United States controls as much power in a globally traded market. And it's because our two sides of the aisle can't work with each other. Fire them all. Fire them all. Just fucking vote everyone out. And then when the next person comes in, if they don't do good, vote them out. And then what'll happen is eventually they're going to be like, oh, so if we don't do our jobs, we get fired. Yeah, that's how it works in the real world, politicians. Suck on that. Choo-choo what? You know the deal. Choo-choo bitches.